That just sounds like crap. Welcome back, guys. Today is the biggest mod, in my opinion, for the XSR700. What just came in? The Two Brothers SR1 exhaust. The full exhaust, not just the muffler, but the whole pipe, everything. We're going to be putting that on today. It sounds great. It was a toss-up between the Two Brothers and the Akrapovic, I hope I'm saying that right, exhaust. Ultimately, I liked the sound of the Two Brothers better, so I went ahead and got that with a little help from my wife for my birthday. So thanks, honey. You're the best. Anyway, we're going to be putting this on today and seeing how it sounds, and then we'll take it for a little test ride. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so before we get going, I want to talk a little bit about what comes in the kit. So, of course, you've got the muffler. This is the carbon fiber. This is the SR1 black. So that's just the one I picked. They also make this in chrome, really up to you. Then you've got your headers. So this is the full exhaust system, if I didn't mention it. This is, the headers. Then you got your mid pipe with, where your O2 sensor goes. You've got your muffler clamp to hold your muffler in position. And then, you've got a bunch of the parts. All the springs to hold everything together, the clamps, a new mounting bracket for the mid pipe, and then an O2 sensor adapter and instructions. So we'll take a look at those a little bit later. And of course, Two Brothers stickers. Got to have the stickers. Those will look good on the toolbox. So that's what we got to install. So let's go start taking the bike apart and putting this stuff on. So the first step in the process is to disconnect and remove the O2 sensor. So we're going to take this plate off right here. There's two bolts that hold it on. I've already done that. And then it just pulls right off. You can set that aside. Then there's some wires down here that we're going to pull out. I'm going to undo these. And this larger one is the O2 sensor. So we're going to disconnect this clamp that's holding everything together. And we're going to disconnect the O2 sensor. And it comes right out. And then we just need to grab a wrench and unscrew the O2 sensor. So let's do that. All right, so to get the O2 sensor off, you're just gonna need a 17mm wrench, and you just need to break it, loosen it, and then just unscrew it. Disconnecting that is going to make it a hell of a lot easier because the wire won't get all twisted and messed up, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier to get off. So the next thing we're going to want to do is loosen the header bolts. So we can see we got one header bolt there, there's one on the other side, and then the same corresponding spots on the left header as well. So we're just going to go ahead and loosen these up. All you really need to do that is a 12mm socket. You can use a torque wrench, an impact wrench like I'm doing, or you can do it by hand. But I'm just going to go ahead and break these and loosen them up. But don't take them off completely, just want them loose. There's one, and we'll go ahead and do the other side. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want to do is remove the foot peg mount. The reason we're doing this is because we have to be able to get to the muffler mount. So we got to take this just to get it out of the way. We're going to just take this whole assembly and move it out of the way. All you need for that is a 6mm Allen wrench to do that. So cool, we've got that loose. Now we can just lift the whole thing away, and now we have full access to get to the muffler mount. Okay, on to the muffler mounting bolts. You can probably see one in the dead center of the screen. There it is right there. There's actually two of them. There's one here and there's one above, which you can't see because this is in the way. But trust me, they're there. So we're going to go ahead and use a 10mm socket, and we're going to take those the muffler mount bolts out. Okay, so before we actually let that loosen or take that last bolt all the way out, we want to put our foot underneath this, because as soon as this thing comes out, the whole muffler, the cat, everything's going to want to drop. So we're just going to loosen it until it's out. There's the last one. We'll put that with its buddy. And And I believe, oh, it looks like there's one more on the other side. All right, I'm gonna go do that. I'll be right back. Okay, we got the bolts out of the other side. I've got my foot under here. As you can see, this is already loose. So all we have to do is loosen the header bolts and remove them, which is what I'm about to do now. And there's one. There's two. There's three. I know you guys can't really see this, but I am loosening these things. It's hard to get a camera in here. And there's four. All right, so this should just come right out. Excellent. And we're gonna hang on to these gaskets. I'm not gonna replace these gaskets because this bike is only got like 600 some odd miles on it. It literally just got through its break-in. These are still in excellent condition, so we're gonna reuse these things. But there we go. There's the whole guy out. So now it's time to get the Two Brothers stuff on. Okay, so the first thing to put on is the header. So we're gonna use all the original bolts and everything, and we're gonna fit their header up in here. So actually, here, what we're gonna do first, we've got these two gaskets. We're gonna put some grease on here. The reason we're just on one side, that way we can stick these into the head and they won't fall out. So we're gonna go do that really quick. Okay, so we got those gaskets. They're stuck in there with the grease. The grease isn't a big deal because it's just gonna burn off once this thing heats up. So it's not going to have any effect on anything. So now we just have to line up these flanges. Just want to get the flanges down. There we go. By the way, these pipes come with a rubber band attached to them. Don't take that rubber band off. It's actually there for a purpose. That rubber band is going to make your life a hell of a lot easier. There we got one side. Anyway, those rubber bands, they are actually there to keep the flanges from falling and sliding down. So that's why you want them. Okay, so we've got the header completely seated. Now we're gonna twist on one of the bolts. And all we're gonna do right now is just twist it on enough to hold it, to keep it in place. All right, we got one. Man, I wish I had smaller hands sometimes. No, I don't. Okay. And I'm gonna grab a socket just to get these other ones seated in order to be able to get things fit. Okay. And I think that's good enough for now. Okay, so before we can actually get the mid pipe installed, we're gonna have to put this bracket on. This bracket actually goes right here. And it's gonna use the factory bolts that we took off when we dropped our cat. But Two Brothers actually supplies nuts. Since the bolts actually screwed in to the cat was threaded, we need something that's threaded to actually hold it. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on. Okay, cool. That's where our mid pipe's gonna mount. So we're good there. All right, so the next thing to do is actually attach the O2 sensor. So There's two options. If you're racing, you don't need your O2 sensor, or for whatever reason you don't, there is a plug that they provide so you can just cap off your O2 sensor port. If you're using the factory one, then you're going to want to use their adapter and put that in. Okay, got the O2 sensor installed. Everything's tightened down. I went ahead and put the clamp for the mid pipe that clamps the header onto the mid pipe, and we're going to go ahead and slip this over the mid pipe. Or sorry, we're going to go ahead and slip the mid pipe over the header. Okay, so we got the mid pipe on. The clamp's in position, but we're not going to do anything yet. Other thing I forgot to mention is inside the mid pipe, the side of the mid pipe that you slide onto the muffler, or sorry, the header, you're going to want to put some anti-seize in there. That's just going to prevent this from fusing together, and if you ever need to change it out, you're going to play hell trying to get it off. So that nickel anti-seize that you put on spark plugs, that's going to really kind of keep it loose. That's actually in the instructions, so you know, we'll kind of stick with it. So the next thing to do is to get the muffler on and mount that up. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, something I just remembered, and when I was watching another install of this on a different bike, an MT-07, I believe, the recommendation was put this on the mid pipe first, because it's going to be a lot easier to get these springs on. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and get these springs installed. Let's see, I had a spring puller somewhere. There we go. If you don't have a spring puller, one does come in the kit. So, as rudimentary as it is, it definitely works. Cool. All right, well, that's on there. Now what we can do is go ahead and take this whole assembly and slide it on. And then, of course, we will have our muffler bracket as well. So let's go ahead and put the muffler back on. Okay, so we basically got everything kind of in position. So now what we're going to do is slowly start to tighten everything up. We're still going to leave the headers loose for now. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tighten this, this clamp where the mid pipe clamps onto the header. So I'm going to get under here and tighten that guy up. Okay, and I think that's good. I kind of already took the liberty of just temporarily putting the bolt and the nut through on the muffler bracket. But the first thing we want to do is, remember that bracket that we put on there to replace things? We're going to need to go ahead and tighten that up first. So, going to grab our wrench here and slowly start to tighten that up. That's pretty tight. So let's grab the impact wrench. That's pretty tight. Get the top one. Okay, that one's tight too. Now I believe we're going to need a 13. Nope, we're going to need a 12 for the other one. So we'll go get a 12 and tighten that one up. Cool. Get this tightened. That is pretty rock solid. All right, the only thing left to do is tighten the header bolts now. So we're going to go over and do that. All right, let's tighten these header bolts up. Okay, we basically got the pipe on. Everything seems really solid. The only thing left to do is let's reconnect the O2 sensor. So we'll go ahead and run this guy back up through here. put these wire clamps back in place so we don't lose it. And then we'll reconnect the sensor. Just like that. Cool. Now we just got to put the bike back together. Get rid of these zip ties. These zip ties are really good, by the way, for keeping things out of the way. All right. Get the foot peg. And last but not least, all right, looks like we got everything back together. So I think it's time to check it out. All right, we got everything tight. Everything looks good. Moment of truth. That sounds absolutely amazing. Well, that was it. A little bit longer video. Hope it was helpful though. Yeah, this Two Brothers, massive, massive difference. So happy I did it. Sweating like a pig. It was a labor of love, but I'll see you guys next time. And I'll let you know how this goes. But I am so freaking excited. I can't wait to get out and ride this thing. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you like this channel. I'll see you next time. Ride safe. Bye-bye.